anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
This one, see if that works. People hear me yet? As we get rolling here, you see she's filming on pit road. Checker flag waves here in warm-ups. Nothing. There we are. So we do have it. As you see, it's filming here on pit road. Warm-ups come to an end. Here we go. Get ready for the grid tonight. There we go. Your starting grid for your Xfinity race tonight. It's going to be Gary Moore out there in first. William Gay there in a second. There we go. Here we're gonna. But somebody asked for an eval. I'm trying to get this to do what I want it to, and it's not working out that way. So here we go. Gary Moore out there in front. William Gay there in second. Sage Greco third. Chase Zilla will roll off fourth tonight. Kyle Bird there in fifth. PJ Whitman sixth. Claire Murphy there in seventh. Ryan Peters eighth. Zach Kersley there in ninth. Joseph Billman 10th. James White in 11th. Shay Tarleton there in 12th. And 13th tonight. That's going to be starting. Jeremy James with Nigel Steele in 14th. Robert McCray will start there in 15th. Tyler Castleman in 16th. Mark Ossier there in 17th. Kevin Baker in 18th with Mike Rowland there in 19th. James Aflaw in 20th. And Troy Hampton 21st. Oh, here we go as things get situated. Here we got the grid up. Getting ready here as... Come on now, give me what I want. There we are. Trash. He's driving. Get ready for 100 laps around Thompson. Short track racing here tonight. Who's ready for it? Green flag in the air. Here we go down the front stretch. The work here in corner number 1 and 2. Caution is out already. We didn't get through turn 1. See back here, see if we can find out what exactly happened. Looks like Nigel Steele slow. Joseph Spillman. And off, out. We'll see if that was part of it. All right, so we got our echo back. Let's see if we fix that. There you see the 14. Claire Murphy up there on the outside. Ends up getting spun around there. We'll rewind it here a little bit just to see what happened. Got the Marconi setup shop there on the side of that machine. And he rolls down in here. Gets up, slides up. The 5 is there. Not enough room as they both then go glide towards that outside wall. Around goes that Taco Bell machine. There we see there coming around. Trying to see who's on the hood of that machine. Hit the outside wall. And there you see it. Something TV. Looks like faded TV. What I'm looking at, I don't know if that's correct or not. They rolling out of here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here for the FMA Xfinity Series. We get them back here, lined back up again. You see a few of them there on pit road, down there on the bottom of the screen. You see the pit road banner. Peterson, Murphy, and Tarleton all on pit road. We see the 18th spot. There we go, getting lined back up. William Gay out there in a second. Gary Moore in the lead. That chooses that inside lane. And what was down off of here. Try to find the best cameras here at this short track. Green flag is out as they come there off of the corner. As we see William Gay gets out there in the second. Gary Moore out there in front. Here they come 2 by 2 in the corner number 1. A little bit better, but the 88 ends up into the outside wall there. Couldn't quite get it to turn. That's James Law, and oh no, the 117 there. Mark Rossier goes around. We also have the 08 or the 803 of Robert McKay going around. Yellow flag back out in the air once again. Well, here you see the 803. This was a little bit after the cut. Well, now I guess they happened about the same time. I ended up the racetrack in front of the 88. James Bob, but the 117, Mark Ossier back here also got caught up in this as he started the whole thing back here going back. As we said, the 08 was just coming here off the court as well. As looks like a 3 there. Wetland was going around. See if he had help there. Now they come off this corner. Now you see that 24 comes up. And it looked like the 24 might have got into the left rear of the 3, sending the 3 around. And then the 117 up into the outside wall. Well, on the points, the replay back out. Second caution. Here comes the drivers around on that front stretch. Gary Moore out front. Jeremy James, he's in here in the 221 back here. Teammate in the 803. Who's sitting back here in 13. Robert McRae. Shane Greco there in 14. We got the 5 of Ryan Peters there in 15th with PJ Wetland 16th, driving at number 3 tonight. Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for. This is only race 2 of the 12-week season. And bring it on out here in the corner number 3. I think it's only 12 weeks. I could be wrong. Let's check here. Yes, 12-week season. Total of 3 tire sets to the set you start with, plus 2. No fast repairs. These drivers got to really stay on their toes, as the damage you see on these cars are the damage you're going to end up keeping. You know, it's short track racing. What do you expect? You're going to have some bumps and dents here on these cars. They come here off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, green flag back out. Down here in the corner number 1 they go. Kyle Byrne here in a point, and he tries to roll up there in the second. There you see Chase, or PJ Wetland back here. And they go almost trying to squeeze it together there off into turn 4. Real tough here. There goes Wetland, locking it up down there on the inside into the infield grass a little. He tries to keep it off the driver over top of it. Now you can see them single file out there towards the front. Now there you can see the 17. I'd say Greco down there on the inside, getting underneath the 5 of Brian Peters. Peters up there on the outside, getting a great run. Off the corner down here in the corner number 3 and 4. I'm not exactly sure what the best route for the momentum is as of at the moment. As that 5 does a pretty good job keeping the momentum on that high side. And they just keep it rolling there. Now they're off on the corner number 1 and 2 down that back straightaway again here with lap 13 of the 100. And one roll off there. The 023 is Zach Uncle Tank Kersley. Now they roll off turn to number 4 down in front straightaway. Shallow there still racing between Sage Greco and Ryan Peters. And they all single file that out. Now there you see the 117, sorry. Mark Ossier. We do have some drivers out. There we go, Murphy out. And Murphy is in the pit. So not completely out, sitting in the pit. Nobody completely out yet. It's a pit out of our 21 car field. The 888 there aims the weapon up there into the outside wall. He's Kevin Barker getting underneath him. Caution is out. Troy Hampton involved. You got the 3 of Wentland involved once again. Take another look here as we got the on the pole instant replay. Coming here off of corner number 4. Out of front stretch. There you see the 3. Work down here, and there you see them all scattered every which way, and just nowhere for Wetland to go. Looks like the 08 of Troy Hampton. Hampton might have been closer to the action there. Work down here off the corner. As he gets into that outside wall, I wanted the 08 of Troy Hampton. That's what I wanted. So what we wanted here, why we followed that one, I don't know. Here we are. Well, the 24, Mike Rowland was also there, and the 2 of them get in together, coming down through. You see everybody just trying to scatter, and there was just nowhere for Wetland to go. Everybody out behind them checks up. Looking good so far here tonight. Albert there in 4th, Zach, and currently there in 5th, Tyler Kaufman there 6th. Outside, getting ready for it. Start once again. Pace car off. Here we go. Out of corner number 4. Green flag back in the air. Down here through the front straightaway. And bring it on out here. Down through off the corner. Head down that back straightaway. Back to Currently there, 5th. Castleman there 6th, Jeremy James there in 7th. Look out, the 023 and the 23 of Tyler Castleman getting together up on the outside of turn 3. Caution lights come back out once again. Oh, we saw him come into the corner just a little hot. Down here you see it. The 23 gets into the back of the 023 of Zachton Kersley. Castleman then comes in and ends up putting them around a little bit more. Up there on the top side, locks it up to keep from pushing them completely around. Great job by these other drivers seeing the problem, getting down there onto the low side of the racetrack to keep from getting into any more issues. Those 2 drivers are up there on the top side of the speedway. Caution number 1 here tonight. 4th caution. Anybody in the chat want to take a shot at how many cautions we might see tonight here racing this short track? There we are. Zachton Kersley out there in the 9th. once again. They're getting lined up. Giving us 19 drivers still out here trying to fight for a position. And we're down that back stretch. Look there, Chase Zilla, Gary Moore out front, William Gay there in second. Kyle Bird back here in the fourth with Kevin Baker. Back there in fifth, Jeremy James. Now you watch it all come down through the front stretch. There you see the 08. Troy Hampton trying to stay in contention here as he wants to stay on that lead lap a little bit. Trying to see who our first car one lap down is, and it looks to be Joseph Spillman there in the 41. Here's our first driver one lap down. And out through on the speedway. William Gay there in second, Kyle Bird there in fourth, Nate Grego there fifth, Kevin Barger sixth. Jeremy Gage back here. We're a quarter of the way through the race. Now, almost a third of the way through the race. We're here at lap 30. Actually, currently there in the 9. Jay Charlton there in 10. Peters back here in 11. Spillman, Rossier, McCray, Castleman, Steely, Hampton back here. Trying to fight his way back up there as he gets onto the bumper there of the Sharpie 23 of Castleman. Castleman worked on the outside of the 803 across the McCray. These guys here, they are battling for position, even though they're not battling, or even though they're not on the lead lap. These guys are still battling for position if they were on the same lap. Working down through the back stretch, McCray getting around, or sitting there ahead of Steely. Castleman getting around McCray. Now here comes Nigel Steely. I'm sorry, not Nigel Steely, here comes the 08. Hampton trying to get around the 803. Can't quite do it as of yet. This is a tight racetrack here tonight, folks. It is hard to get these cars to do what you want them to do. As we're on board here with William Gay here in second. And I don't think they're running fourth gear tonight because of how short this track is. I'd be surprised to hear if they are. Ballant on out here through the corner, just trying to hang on to that car. Don't want it to step out. Chase Greco's back here in fifth, and that number 17 right there on the bumper of the Bush number 018. Looking there to the inside, can't quite make the pass. He's going to try to get back underneath the gear. Going to try to get those brake areas set right. That's what's tough about this racetrack. It's so hard to pass. And it catches there, it's all coming off of turn number 2. Man, oh man, great driving here by these drivers. They worked their off of turn 4. Here in lap number 36, Ken Kersley back here in 11. Ryan Peters there in 10. Ken Kersley in 11. 11 drivers on the lead lap. Well, all spin around down here, off. Now let's go ahead and get the track map up here as you watch it. Wade Grego, Kyle Bird, Kevin Baker back here in 6, and that number 057. Down to number 1. William Gay back on the back stretch there, and that number 75. Chase Dillas there in 3rd. St. Greco there for it. Kyle Bird, he's back here in 5th. Still working his way around the speedway. With Jeremy James back here in 7th. Carlton there in 8th. A fall back here in 9th. Brian Peter there 10th. Ken Kersley in 11th in that 023. Here through turn 3 and 4, you're watching Chase Silla. They work top of 4 back down that front straightaway. Now behind that map, you can see that they're just strung around the speedway. Up there at that top arch. So everybody's trying to figure out a way to get around there. You see, oh no, the 89, the leader, gets into the 888 and bumps him around as gains a weapon. He gets pushed around there by the leader of William Gay. So here is your caution as you watch that 888. Gains the weapon coming here into corner number 3. I don't think Gay realized the closing speed. I'm sorry, not Gay. Gary Moore. Gary Moore didn't realize the closing speed and ended up getting into the back. And we're on board here as he comes down here into the corner. I just don't think he realized how fast he was closing on him. Man, oh man, look how tight pit road is. They're under our 5th caution here at Thompson. Up front. Chase Ringo third, Derby James there in fourth, Chase Carlton there in fifth, Chase Zilla in sixth, and we're on down through here off the backstretch. Now you see Chase Zilla there into number 26. James LaPlaw and eight, Kevin Baker back here in ninth. And that open 7 trying to work on the inside. There off the 5 and Ryan Peters down here through turn number 1. Whoa, look out, side-by-side action there. Between those two drivers, they head on down here into corner number 1. These cars might not look correctly here. We're going to try to fix this here. front stretch into corner number 1 and 2. Jay Carlton there as he is 17 there. St. Grego trying to get around William Gay now. And we're down here in the corner number 3 and 4. There they go. They're updating a couple of these schemes here. And I thought some of them were wrong. Jay Moore back here in the 3rd. Jay Charlton there in the 6th. Zilla there and Jeremy James in the ball. There we go. You got the 5 there, Brian Peters. Then you got the 057. Bigger, the 018 there, Kyle Bird. There's the 23, Castleman. Mark Ossier there in the 117, Joseph Spillman. Robert McRae. AC Nigel Skilling there, there's the 023. Ted Kersley. James the weapon there in the 888. Roy Hampton there in the 08. Wentland on pit road. Rowland and Murphy are out. Now let's roll down through the back stretch. Here we go. Corner number 3 of 4. Over halfway. St. Greco takes the lead here at Thompson. Down here in the corner number 1. Harry Moore there in 3rd, but getting past here as Chase Zilla looks to the inside, and that Gibson number 26. Down that back straightaway here in the corner number 3. Moore still fighting hard on that outside lane. Can't quite hold off. Now here comes the 6 of James Carlton. He's going to try to keep that 89 up there on the outside. They get that inside lane to continue to work for him here as they work off the 3rd. Number 2 down that back straightaway. Jay Carlton there in 5th. Jeremy James there in 6th. There at the bottom of the scoreboard, coming there off the corner. St. Grego out there in front, working around the lap machine. Robert McRae. And McRae's there in 14th. Spillman out there in 13th. Mark Ossier there in 12th. Tyler Castleman, he's here at 11 with James Law there in 10th. Kyle Bird there in 9th. Brian Peters there in 8th. Rolling up there across the 3rd finish line right at the moment with Baker and Jeremy James. Jeremy James there. We see Baker working around the lap machine as well. That's the 888 of James Weapons. Damage on the back bumper of that machine was given to him by none other than Gary Moore in that 89 when he was headed for the 3. Gave him a nice little bump. Square to the back. And Jake Zilla, he's now up there in the 2nd after he got around William Gay. Gary Moore still sitting there for it with Carlton there in 5th. And got him into the outside wall, possibly crossed there at the Craig. Stuffmer, was that the 08 there of Hampton. Scraping that outside wall. And we're now through the back front. Now here off the corner. Zilla there in 2nd, trying to chase down Sage Greco. Sage Greco, though, he's got to run here on Mark Ossier. He works down there out of corner number 4. Now in race number 2 of season 4 of the Xfinity Series here at FMA. No sponsor as of yet. No headlining sponsor here, that's why it's the FMA Xfinity Series. If you remember last season, it was FFTV. The season before that in the front game. Jay Carlton there in 4 with Gary Moore there fifth. Kevin Baker there in 6th. Jeremy James there in 7th. Ryan Peters there 8th. Kyler Bard there in 9th. With James Law back there in 10th. They start to get spread out all over the racetrack once again. The 88. Conrad, the 88 is in the pit. The 3 Wetland also in the pits. And team down there on the bottom of the speedway. There's that damage on the back bumper of that machine up. James, the weapon I was talking about. You can see how that back bumper pushed in there. There we got Chase Hilla getting around Mark Ossier. Trying to figure out where Sage Greco is, but Greco is clear up here, getting into corner number 3. Gaining on the 023. St. Kersley. 23 there, Castleman. Down there on the infield grass. Not sure exactly what happened there to Castleman. Yeah, he is off track. It looks like he crashed. Trying to figure out how to bring it back up on track safely. There's the caution flag for him. And Tyler Castleman crashed. We'll take a look at it. I got to rewind it here. That didn't give it to me correctly. So coming here off of turn number 4, just kind of loops it down there across into the infield. Great job not hitting nothing. He will be a lap or 2 down. There in 11. He'll be a lap down. It doesn't look like he's the only one there. 1 lap down. No, I guess Ossier's only 1 lap down as well. They're in 117. But I think Ossier was also a lucky dog. He gets caught back up here into the pack. Here under our 6th caution. Now, if anybody remembers, as we do these races here at FMA, or I'm sorry, at on the pole, as you watch here on FFTV, we average somewhere about 8 cautions, give or take. Just a little big here for the pit road at Thompson. We're trying to navigate to figure out how far to put that nose into the guy in front of him. And we're there off of pit road. James the Weapon still down there on pit road. There comes that 17. Sage Greco getting up there in the front. 88, James Applaw. Now, everybody came into pit here at lap 70. James Applaw did not pit, stayed out. Interesting call, I will say so. Go ahead, 221 coming around the pace car. Jeremy James. Lights go out on the pace machine. Red pulls it off, coming out of turn 4. Here we go. Green flag, back in the air, down the front straightaway they go. That hit here in the corner number 1. Greco on the high side, a ball down there on the inside. Here comes Chase Zilla. 3 wide coming there off of turn number 2. As the ball is stuck there in the middle of the racetrack. There comes the 89 working down here on the bottom side. And I guess tires are important here, and everybody with fresh tires just slingshots around the ball. That work down there off turn number 2, back out there onto the backstretch. 26 laps to go. A ball not to pit. Trying to get track position as he's up here into 8. Right now, right here, there in 7. Baker here up to 5th. He slide up the racetrack here, getting around to 6. Charlton, and they're 3 wide yet again. With Ryan Peters now down there on the bottom. Gary Moore there in the middle, stuck behind Shea Charlton. Baker up there in the 4th. Chase Dilla in the 3rd. Chasing down William Gay and Sage Greco. Now we got 24 laps to go here in Thompson. Rolling down here out of corner number 3 in the 4. William Gay in 2nd. Chase Dilla there 3rd. Kevin Baker, sorry, there in 4th. Thompson there in 5th. Winding down here quickly. Out through the backstretch. Comes at number 17 of Sage Greco. William Gay there in 2nd. Chase Silla there 3rd. Kevin Baker there 4th. My stats show me correctly, and I stress correctly here. It's looking like Kevin Baker drove himself up in the 4th, giving him a plus 14 on the day. Chase Silla, he's there in 3rd. William Gay there 2nd. Chase Greco there in front. And Kevin Baker, he's in the spotlight for a hard charger. James LeBlanc back here in 9th. Jeremy James there in 10th. Working down off the corner. There you see William Gay. Chase Silla, Kevin Baker. Chase Greco leads the way here down in the corner number 1. 20 laps to go. There you Kevin Baker there in 4th. Gary Moore back here in 5th. Jay Tarleton there in 6th. Ryan Peters there 7th. Kyle Bird there in 8th. James LeBlanc 9. Jeremy James in 10th. And we're down there off in the corner number 3 and 4. 221 there. Jeremy James looking underneath. Can't quite pull it off there as they work up off the corner down that front straightaway. In the corner number 1. 21. Joseph Spillman. A few laps down, just trying to hang on for some points here tonight. And then William Gay there had a miracle of Chase Silla. That Chase works down here in the corner number 3 and 4. 18 laps to go. Chase Silla trying to get up there. Battle hard for that 2nd spot here at Thompson. We've had some decent green flag laps here tonight. I'm surprised. For drivers that aren't always too familiar with short track racing, definitely doing a great job of it tonight. On this tight racetrack of Thompson. Work on out through down that back straightaway. Chase Silla there in 3rd. Gay there in 2nd. And Watt there in 6th. This is the number 6 of Shea Tarleton. Hang on to it here. Sitting there in 7th right now. Kyle Bird there in 8th, but he's gaining ground on him. James LeBlanc out there in 9th. Jeremy James in 10th. Sage Greco out there leading the way. William Gay in 2nd. Chase Silla there in 3rd. Baker there in 4th. Gary Moore there 5th. Shea Tarleton there in 6th. Ryan Peters 7th. And then rolling on out here once again. Out of turn number 2. Greco still leads the way. Chase Dillon still trying to find a way to get up there and battle with William Gay. William Gay put a little bit of a gap over Chase Dillon now. And the 89 there. And I wonder if going around Spillman might have had something to do with that. Spillman is 2 laps down back here in 15th. I'm sorry, 3 laps down back here in 15th. Crazy Mark Buster. 2 laps down. In 14th. That's Steely. Down 2. Castleman down 2. Your top 10 drivers of James Law forward are on the lead lap with 11 to go here tonight. Down there off the corner. There's the 17. That's St. Greco. William Gay there in second. Chase Zilla there third. Gary Moore in fourth. Kevin Baker there in fifth. Jay Charlton, he's there in sixth. And Brian Peters in seventh. Al Bird there in eighth. Jeremy James there in ninth. James LaFlaw in 10th. And see James LaFlaw going to the inside of the 8th. Nigel Steely up there on the top side of the speedway, trying to keep things together. As we see, next comes William Gay down past the lap machines. And Chase Zilla as well. You got the 221 there. Jeremy James in the mix here. Jeremy James and his car are now lap down here tonight. So now these drivers on the lead lap. And out here, Chase Dillon tries to get around to 221. There he goes. Down there to the inside, not quite enough. And he works down there off turn number 4. 221 there, Jeremy James. Hanging on to what little position he does have. Gary Moore up there on the top side. There you see Quaker. Got the 8. James LaFlaw, as we said, in that mix. 17, Tate Grego, William Gay there in second, Tate Dillon in third, Gary Moore there fourth, Kevin Baker there in fifth. And we got 5 laps to go for Tate Grego out there in front. William Gay there in second, Tate Dillon trying to get around at 221, getting a little tight there on entry. That's going to allow Tate Dillon to get around, and look out, the 117, Mark Oscar looks like he was a little loose coming there off of turn number 4. Bringing it down in through turn 1 and 2. Try to keep it underneath him. Ozzy works off the 2 down here through the back stretch. Mark Oscar, as we said, is 2 laps down, sitting there in 13th. Sorry, he's 3 laps down. We're down there off the corner. You see that 057 there, Kevin Baker. Getting around him on the bottom side. Gary Moore trying to get around to 221 of Jeremy James. As Jeremy James now moves himself up there into 8th. And he is back down. Chase Greco working there off the corner. Tire is ready to bring it out here. Final lap for St. Greco. Down here in the corner number 1, St. Greco looking to capture the win here in race number 2 of season number 4. Up there against the outside wall, just got to make sure he doesn't do anything too foolish. Down here through off of turn 3 and 4. Keep that power underneath him down here across the stripe. The Chevrolet of St. Greco gets the win here tonight at Thompson Speedway. William Gay gets second, Chase Dillon third. That is unofficial as it stands right now. Trying to find out once everybody crosses the line what exactly that means for everybody. Now we still got a few that gotta try to finish. There we go. Official results are in. Here we go. Chase Greco getting the win. William Gay there in second. Chase Hill at third. Gary Moore there in fourth. Kevin Big there in fifth. Shane Tarleton there in sixth. Brian Peters in seventh. Jeremy James in eighth. James LaFlaw there in ninth. Tyler Kaplan there in 10th. Zachary Kersley there in 11th. Mark Ossio there 12th. Nigel Steele in 13th. Joseph Spielman 14th. Kyle Bird finishes tonight 15th. Robert McCray tonight in 16th with James White in 17th. In 18th, Troy Hampton with P.J. Whitland there in 19th. Mike Rowland in 20th. Claire Murphy in 21st. All right, there we go. Great job there tonight by these drivers. Jake bringing home the win. Sage Greco out there on the front speedway. Spillman out there burning it down. But looking to see if Sage Greco will do so. There he goes. Burning it out here for his win tonight at Thompson. Heads into the outside wall there a little bit. Now let's see if we can find these drivers to go and get with them. Starting with third place, Chase Zilla. Good evening there, Chase. How's it going?
Good, how about you?
It's going well, man. How exhausted are you after that one?
That was something.
Well, I'm sure some people would ask, why bring such a big car to Thompson?
Something different. It was fun, though.
And it looked like it was fun. Pit road seemed to be a little odd, though, because it looked like you had to have the front bumper inside the guy in front of you to make your pit stop happen.
Yeah, we did little ghost cars in the pits, otherwise that would have been a little creative.
Oh, man, but great job getting that Gibson number 26 there up in the third. And looks like this season's been going pretty good so far, even though I know it's still early. We're only in race 2, but quite different here between racetracks. I mean, we had Talladega last week. This week we're at Thompson.
Yeah, it's a big change of pace there. This is definitely more my style, but you can tell I don't think I've ever really finished a super speedway race not damaged, so.
Super speedways and I don't get along either.
No, it's a crapshoot on that one. It's gambling.
Yeah, you're pretty much playing Russian roulette there.
Yeah. I had a good run on that one until the last lap, but hey, be what it be.
Well,
Drop week. That'll be my drop week.
well, you did a great job there tonight getting third. You got any sponsor shots? Anybody you want to thank?
Shout out Matt Mars. His wife's going in for surgery tomorrow, so he's in my thoughts and prayers for that. This FMA and FFTV.
Alrighty, well, we'll see you in the new year on track at Old Texas Thursday, right?
Yeah, yep. Yes, sir. Trucks. Yep. I forgot about that. Yep, trucks.
Maybe I should have let you forget about it. That'd be one less spot I gotta try to worry about. All right, well, you have a great night there, Chase, and we'll see you in the new year. All right, that was Chase Zilla. They're getting third place. Now we'll get with William Gay. Good evening there, William. How's it going?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you?
I'm doing well here. Something's not correct, I don't think. All right, that should be good now. Man, I think we might have lost Chase interview there, but maybe not. I don't know. There might have been But how'd you think of tonight's race here at Thompson? I mean, we're only at like a 5/8 mile racetrack.
Man, it was a tough track. It really was with these cars. I've never raced this track. This is the first time getting on this track and racing. So it was a handful after about 10, 15 laps. It just I mean, I tried to run a kind of middle way line and diamond it down a little bit, and that's the kind of line I ran the whole race. But trying to get my break points down and stuff like that, never racing here, it was a struggle.
Well, it's definitely a short track, to say the least. I mean, I'm used to racing here in the wheel and mods, or I know I still call them wheel and mods, but the what do they call them here on the thing? The tour modifieds, I guess is what they are.
Yeah, like I said, this is my first time here. First time I got on a little bit and practiced a little bit before the race yesterday, and I could already tell that it was going to be a struggle racing here. But all in all, it was a fun race, man. I think I ran second most of the race. I think I lost it a couple went down to fourth once. Lap traffic was hard to get through, but everybody was respectful. They saw the leaders coming. They let us know where they were going to go. So all in all, man, it was a good race. I enjoyed it.
You got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank?
No, man, I just want to thank the league, man. It's been fun. Each season we put on good races, and everybody's respectful and competitive, and I know it takes a lot for the admins to put all this on, so I just want to thank them, and we'll see what we can do next week.
All righty. Well, we'll see you in the new year.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you. And hey, look, I appreciate you too putting on these broadcasts. I know it takes a lot of time and effort to put it on, and and it gets FMA's name out there. Everybody can watch, and I appreciate all the hard work you do as well, buddy.
All righty. Well, congrats again there, William, on second place tonight, and we'll catch you in the new year.
All right, brother. See you later.
All right, William Gay. Now we'll get with Sage Greco. Good evening there, Sage. How's it going?
Hello, Adam.
Man, race number 2 of the season, bringing home the win here at the short track.
Yeah, that was good. I definitely wasn't expecting the win there. But, yeah, really got lucky just avoiding all the wrecks at the beginning. But second half of the race was a lot of fun.
Well, you did a great job in keeping that car pretty clean. You know, being short track, usually every car I've seen usually ends up with a dent somewhere along the way. So unless I'm missing yours, I don't know. Car looks pretty clean.
Nope, I didn't get into anybody all day. I think I hit the wall once.
Well, you might not have gone into anybody, but I mean, sometimes you end up touching that outside wall.
Yeah, I think I got it once or twice, but nothing big.
Well, you did a great job getting that ZYN Chevrolet up there to the lead and holding out for the victory. Kind of take it through. It was quite a workout there tonight, I'm sure, for you drivers.
Yeah, I think the only reason I got in the lead in the first place, I think I was like 5th or 7th or something, and it was lap 40, and caution came out, and I pit, and everybody else stayed out that was in front of me. So when we got back out, I came back out in like 5th. I didn't lose any positions, so it was fairly easy to get by the guys because, their tires were like 40 laps old. After that, we had the late caution, kind of late. Used my last set of tires. Now, if the caution came out anywhere like with 30 to go, I think everybody else had an extra set of tires. I'd have been a sitting duck there, but.
Well, you did a great job, and you got sponsors. Shout out to anybody you want to thank there for getting that victory.
No, sir, that's it.
Well, you did a great job, and I guess we'll see you in the new year, right?
Sure will.
All righty, well, great job, and can't wait to see what the new year brings for FMA, and I know we're only race 2 into this season, but been great racing so far.
Sure has. Yeah, I don't know where we're at next week.
Next week, we take on...
Charlotte?
Yes, next week we're at Charlotte for 75 laps.
Nice.
Now, I don't know if you run any other series here at FMA. I know you run the Xfinity. I can't remember if there's any others or not.
I run trucks Gen 4.
You run Gen 4?
Yeah, but I think Gen 4 is off next week.
Gen 4 is off for New Year's, but the trucks on Thursday, we're going to Old Texas.
Yeah.
So I'll be on track there, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, good deal.
All right. Well, you have yourself a great night there, Greco, and see you in the new year.
All right, brother.
All right, that'll wrap it up here tonight. Thank you all for tuning in here to On the Pole. We'll be back. Let's see. We'll be back. I guess it'll be next Sunday is when we'll be back. So it'll be a week before we get back here to race in action, as the leagues are off this week due to New Year's Day and New Year's Eve and stuff. So we'll be sure to check us out. I do know, however, FMA is running tomorrow night. I can't remember the broadcaster that's doing that. Let me see if I can pull that up here to give them the shout out they deserve for taking on that. Great. Definitely appreciate them coming on board. The FMA to give them the show they deserve, as I know I'm not the best at road courses. I do the best I can. But it looks like it's Racer Nexus that'll be that broadcast that races there on Monday night. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week, or a week from today, with more Xfinity racing, and we'll get back into our regularly scheduled racing throughout the week. Thank you so much for watching.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.